go by. They were just really far from us, and since our boat was so small, we were like a needle in a haystack compared to them. But I mean, we waved at everyone we saw and screamed and yelled, but I mean, it just never worked.
We tried to actually keep our hopes up, saying that, God wanted us dead, we would have been dead already, Somebody's going to find us shortly. It's not going to take much longer.
Josh and I, we cry all the time. We cry mainly because of our family and our friends that we wouldn't, ever get to see him again. It was horrible.
I don't want to.
It was about 4:30 in the morning when my daughter said, "Mommy, I want to go lay in your bed. Please, can we go lay in your bed?" That was our little sanctuary. So I asked them, "Can I please take her into my room? Can we please just go lay down in the room for a little while?" And the ringleader said yes and sat at the end of the bed watching us with the gun at us while we were able to go in there and just rest and lay in my bed for a little while. And I was just smelling her hair and stroking her hair. And when you're just there and you're with your child and you're holding your child and you don't know if this is the very last time you're ever going to be able to hold them, it's really, really excruciating. The ringleader came over and stood over me at about 6:30 and said, "Time to get up. Time to get ready for work." I was blow drying my hair, and he was watching, and he unplugged the blow dryer and said, "That's good, and it's time to put the dynamite on your body." And they brought the dynamite in, and the big guy was the one who actually brought it in and duct taped it to my back, really, really tight into my ribs to where you couldn't hardly breathe. It was really painful. And they said, "It's time to put it on your daughter." And they did the same thing to her. That's when she really started to tear up because it was so painful. "Mommy, it hurts. Mommy, it hurts. What are they putting on me?" I didn't want to tell, of course I wasn't going to say it's explosives. I said it's just something so that they'll be able to keep track of where you are, and everything's going to be okay. And it was right then when the ringleader took my arm, said, "Let's go to the living room," sat me on the couch. We were on the couch together, and I was just telling her that she was hoped for when I planned to be a mom. And then he came out and he said, "Time to put your daughter in the closet," and led us into her room where he forced her into the closet. I just couldn't imagine her in the closet. You know what I mean? Just sitting there sort of waiting to explode. And I just wanted to keep her mind off of that and somehow give her something, So I got her a little piece of paper and pen and just said, "Write Mommy a note, write Mommy a letter, because I'm coming back, and I pinky promise I'll be back as soon as I can." And she said, "Don't go." And that was when she started crying and screaming for the very first time, "Please don't leave me. Please don't go." And in that moment, I just became totally robotic, totally numb, checked out. The only way I got through that moment is knowing that I had to go do everything they told me to do to perfection without any mistakes, to save her life and get back to her. I just remember him grabbing my arm and saying, "Time to go to work." And I stood up and I turned and just started walking towards the door, and I could hear her screaming, going, "No, Mommy, no, don't leave me," and just wailing and crying for the first time. And with every step that I took towards the door, that was it. It was fading.
When I would think about food, it would hurt just as bad because I mean I like to eat. I'm a good guy. You know, me not having food is not good because I get really mad and I get frustrated. But I mean, I was starving. You know, I just would think about. I even thought about one time to cut my own finger off. I told Josh, you know, if he would do it, just to have something to chew on. I wasn't hallucinating or anything. I just needed something in my mouth, something with meat on it, just to chew. And Josh, you know, he told me to shut up and that he wasn't gonna do it, you know, and that you know if I keep asking him or saying anything about it, that he's gonna knock me out, you know.
He kept on talking about it, and finally I had to take the knives away from him. But I didn't trust him. I figured if I turn my back, he might be over there sawing his finger off. The choice is, if you die, do you want me to eat you? I said, I really don't care if you eat me or not. I said, just take my clothes off and throw me in the water. You know, so he was pretty hungry. You know, he's always been a big eater. You know, there was nothing out there in the ocean to block the sun from you. You know, so you basically you're sitting directly under it. It was pretty warm, you know, when you're laying on that boat, getting all the heat, and, you know.
My whole body was aching. My face was burnt, you know, really, really bad. We had cuts, both of us, all over our bodies. I mean, just the pain we were in just was excruciating. I mean, it was just horrible. The salt water was getting cuts, and it would sting really, really bad and burn. I was drinking salt water when Josh told me not to, but I mean, you know, I kind of would sneak it here and there, and he knew that, you know, it wasn't good for me, and I knew it wasn't good for me. But I mean, what can you do when it's nice and cold and blue?